Our next question is, your books are described as unapologetic and full of unforgettable tales of grit and daring adventures. Can you share a bit about your creative process in crafting these stories?
Well, the creative process, I was in obviously in federal prison for a long time. Drug lords, bank robbers, gangsters, billionaires, politicians, and the like. So it didn't take much to be creative. All I had to do was sit back and kind of watch what was going on around me. Uh,
Just
you see
listen
some
to a few stories,
crazy,
huh?
yeah, you see some crazy, and um, you hear crazy stories, you see crazy stuff. I had the pleasure of meeting so many different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten fried chicken that we made in our cell in a mop bucket with billionaires hanging around. Just the politicians, the Gotti, Paul Gotti was. I ate cheesecake with him on Friday nights, and just you hear stories and you see story, or you hear stories and you see things that you never ever, at least in my life, I never had a chance to see. Not that I would want to see some of that today, but while I was there, I just had to sit back and watch and see. It's just the creative. Prison is it's like nothing else. It's like nothing else. So a lot of those characters and a lot of those some of people's flaws, and of course a lot of my flaws, was magnified. You seen them all, and it was just easy stuff to write, easy stuff to imagine.
So, how many of those stories that you heard got incorporated into the book?
Well, I couldn't tell you how many. It's not really stories. I don't write people's stories. I just kind of take their
Right, right.
character. When I'm part of my writing is, or all of my writing is, I would take a character and I would base that character off somebody that I knew in prison, how they walked,
Mm-hmm.
how they talked, how they carried themselves, what they would do in a type of situation. And then I wrote my story, or my storyline that I wanted to write, and I just pictured that person doing it. Which,
Wow.
yeah, that was fun in of itself. A lot of the guys along the way that were with me during this journey, I'd show them the chapters and I'd say, "Hey, I wrote this chapter thinking about you," and they would die laughing. And it would get spread around, and some of the characters are in there. Paper is a guy that he's in the prologue. He's in the first four chapters. He's actually throughout the whole book. Good friend of mine. We worked together, hung out together. Um, and that's him. That's the character in the book is him. His old self, of course. He's changed his life. He's back in Miami. He's doing big things. Um, Back to just living life after doing almost 40 years in prison. Uh,
Oh, wow. So
so
he spent his
yeah,
whole life in prison.
yeah. He went in as a young man, uh, and came out. He came out even younger. It's unbelievable. I look at paper and it's just I don't. The guy's ageless. He's just a. He turned out to be a good friend. I can't wait to reconnect with him again. But he's a character out of the book. There's multiple characters in the book that were actual that I used their, of course, street names and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
love the
definitely
name.
influenced. Yeah, paper.
That I said, paper wouldn't what? And I had to read it again to make sure I was reading what I read. And it's like, oh, that's his name. His name is Paper.
Paper. Yeah, yeah.